Good evening, everybody. This is Jess Rydell, aka Ageless Jess. I'm a sales success coach, and this is day 6 in our Skyrocket Your Sales series. Hopefully, you guys have been keeping up with me. If this is the first time that you are checking in or tuning in to this broadcast, I'm going to recommend that you pause this video and scroll back on whatever platform you happen to be watching on and begin with day 1. This week, or for the 7 days, but we're on day 6 of this, tomorrow's day 7. The first 7 days I have spent debunking the common myths around sales. So there's some great content for you to catch up with. And I do recommend going back to the beginning. I introduce myself, lay some groundwork, and the videos themselves are getting shorter and shorter as time passes. But if you're here and you're interested in getting more sales, closing more sales, learning more about your own sales process and how to enhance it so that you can be doing more business, closing more deals, having more clients, then you are absolutely in the right place. And I could talk about this stuff all day, and I'll be here all month. So today's myth that we're going to discuss is it's all about numbers game ideas. I'm having connection issues. Bummer. Okay. Well, hopefully this will catch up. All right. Yes. So today's myth is going to be all around the more calls I make, the more sales I will be able to close. The more calls I make, the more sales I will be able to close. So let's kind of pull the layers of the onion back on this one. And I know a lot of people tell you sales is just a numbers game. Well, yes and no. Again, there's nuance to all of these myths, and there is some truth to that. I'm not sitting here telling you that you can close sales or do sales without getting on the phone at all, because I think that's ridiculous. I think that's part of the problem that we're having in this society right now is that newer people, newer coaches, healers, holistic practitioners, people like that, see people that are way further along in business that are doing a lot of business through their email marketing, and they think that's the only way to do business. But if you are in business and you are making under 6 figures right now, you need to be having daily conversations. You need to be reaching out to people to get them scheduled on sales calls. You need to be offering your sales call when you speak live. This is a way that the majority of sales that you close in this phase of your business are going to happen in one-on-one conversations. And you've got to get good at this before you can graduate to kind of this mass marketing approach. A lot of people just come on the scene, and especially people that don't like to talk on the phone, they think, well, all I have to do, there's like a gnat flying in my face right now. Geez. Okay. They think all I have to do is, get an email list and just market my stuff via email. Well, you can try that, but you're going to be sorely disappointed, especially if you're not good at having a sales conversation. But let's talk a little bit about the numbers game and the volume and why this is a myth. Because, okay, think about it. I could make 80 phone calls and reach no one, right? And close 0 sales. Or I could call 10 hot prospects that I know are interested in my coaching, my work, my service, and call those 10 people and maybe reach 2 or 3 of them and close 1 of them into my business. So no, more volume does not necessarily equate to closing more deals. And also think about the quality of the actual call that you're having. If you're, racing to beat the band, to hustle through 80 outbound phone calls, and you're just kind of at the speed of light, and you're checked out and just sort of going through the motions and leaving very flat, boring messages, or not reaching people and hanging up and making these 80 calls and reaching no one. Well, okay, so who's, am I going to close more sales with the 80 outbounds or calling the 10 hot prospects? So think about it that way. It's the quality of the lead, the level of interest that the person has in your service. And I'm really big on energy conservation. If you can get the deals done with 20 calls instead of 80 calls, then make 20 quality calls that you're really listening, and you're able to present your product or service as the solution to this person's problem, make them an offer, tell them the price, create the value, and close them into one of your programs. All right. That's going to be the name of the game. But what I do recommend and what I think is important is that you understand where your current closing percentage is. And let's just break this down. Let's use 10 as the magic number. Okay. So say you have 10 sales calls, and in those 10 sales calls, you close one person. Okay. That is a 10% close rate. And my joke has always been as a salesperson, if you can fog a mirror, you can close 10%. All right. That's kind of the low end of the totem pole. If you actually have 10 conversations, it doesn't matter how great your skill set is, you should probably be able to close one person into your business. Now, if you close 2 out of 10, your sales close percentage is 20%. 3 out of 10, it's 30%. 4 out of 10, it's 40%. 5 out of 10, it's 50%. Now we're cooking with gas. These are some great numbers. If we're up above 40% close rate, you're doing pretty well. But I want you to think about getting out, a chart and saying, for every 10 calls, 10 sales calls I have, how many people are saying yes to me? That is your closing percentage. So you will know how many sales conversations on average you need to have to close whatever number of people you're going after into your business. So start playing with this with tens. Of course, you can have fun with fractions. You can do any number of calls and just do the percentage work and figure out what your closing percentage is. I just like using the number 10 because it's kind of fun and easy to get to the percentage, saying of every 10 calls, how many people are saying yes, right? And we want our closing percentage to be between ideally 30 and 50%. If it's much higher than that, I will say there's a chance you need to go back to the drawing board and look at your pricing, because if everyone's saying yes, you're pricing your service too low. Not everyone should say yes. Not everyone is your ideal client. People should have objections. People have objections everywhere. If you're getting no objections, your stuff it's not priced correctly. So I want you to be thinking about that. All right. So there's that myth. We have one more myth to cover tomorrow, which just happens to be Ageless Jess's birthday. Woohoo! I may do this a little bit differently tomorrow. I think I'm just going to go live on my Facebook page. Something I love Restream because it's the one and done, and you get pushed to all of the platforms. But I'm noticing with Restream, my engagement is not very high, and I want more people to be able to see this series. So I'm going to experiment tomorrow with just doing a live on my Facebook page and then sharing that video, to my business page and seeing if I can pull the video and then share it to my other platforms as well. So we'll be playing with that tomorrow with the final myth. So tune in tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we are going to segue into 7 common mistakes that you may be making in your sales conversations. And then the week following, we're going to be covering some simple tweaks you can make to enhance your closing percentage and your sales closing rate. And then in the final 7 days, we're going to be talking about some wonderful ways in which you can get leads for your business, right? So please stay with me, tune in. Let me share with you, if you need sales help, you need sales support, you're having challenges with whether it is your sales conversation, your closing, asking for the money, whether it's follow-up, whatever challenge you're having, whatever gap you have in your sales process right now, I want you to consider coming to my workshop on February 23rd. It is virtual. You can participate from anywhere in the world. It's going to be a kind of a day-long event. Well, it's from 10 to 4. We'll take a lunch break and 2 15-minute breaks, but it's going to be on Zoom. And I do have a link through Eventbrite for you to purchase your ticket. You'll get a workbook. You're going to have a lot of personalized attention in this workshop because I am capping it at 20. So please consider joining me. I think there's one spot gone, and I have 2 people that I'm following up with today that should be coming in. So grab your seat because this is going to be a very, very dynamic workshop. I'd love to have you there so we can really dig in and see where those gaps and loopholes may be in your sales process to give you some training. There's going to be some skill practice, some goal setting. We're really going to talk about some of the blocks to making more calls, doing more sales. What is holding you back right now? We're going to zero in and we're going to remove that obstacle so that you can skyrocket your sales. I'll put the link in the comments. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you have not watched 1 through 5 in the series, please go back. All right. and watch the series and take notes and stick with me for this month, because just even by listening to this series, even if you don't come to the workshop, you're going to get some great information to make some subtle tweaks to really improve your sales process. I'm Jess Rydell. I have closed thousands of sales in my career, and I want to help you do the same. Signing off for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.